Kevin, it's been a lively game this afternoon, to say the least. A 3-2 defeat at home here by Curzon Ashton. What are your feelings after that one?
Obviously, one of disappointment. I think when you get yourself in a good position and take the lead like we have, to then allow Curzon to get in such a commanding position going into half time, and if I'm honest, they could have been further ahead. We might have had one or two moments ourselves where we could have reduced the arrears before half time and haven't. But 3-1 at half time after taking the lead is disappointing. I think the way we came out in the second period showed that little bit more purpose and quality, and I think we looked the more likely side. But we're playing catch up at that stage, and that's not acceptable. We need to be harder against the ball when we take the lead, and just like I say, it's for Curzon to come out and have to open us up at that stage. And I think we've kind of not recognised that in the game, and to allow it to move away from us like we did after being such a good position. I think it was quite open until the first goal. It's disappointing, but equally, there's some solid performances there in the second half that have given us a chance in the game. And as I say, I thought we looked at the more likely side of scoring in the second period, but you just, again, gifting the opposition. It's 2 easy moments to take the lead is an area we've been guilty of on too many times this season.
Defensively, the last 3 games prior to today, things had been improving. I suppose you'd be keen to make the point, and you're always keen to make the point, that the hard work doesn't stop, and that just because you've done it a few times doesn't mean it's become a habit. You have to work at it. But I can't imagine you saw that spell in the first half coming.
No, they're good side with good footballers in the side that technically very capable. They managed the ball well and did manage the ball better than we did through that period. As I say, I think it was quite equal up to our first goal, but then certainly Curzon took over and were the more likely side and proved to be that. We've not been hard enough against the ball and not recognised that, yes, they want to be open and expansive, and we might have to sit in there and see certain moments through, and we just haven't recognised that well enough. I do think their physical presence was a little bit too much for one or two to deal with. They've got a lot of presence there from restart moments, and as it proved, they've scored one of those goals from that situation. But yeah, credit in the second half to lads. They've kept going and given us a lifeline there, but it's too little really, and we need to be a whole lot more harder in games to be able to come through with wins.
Sure. I can't say that it didn't change the course of the game and that Curzon still had the lead, but obviously the red card for Harry Flowers in the last few minutes is going to be a big disappointment to you.
Yeah, it is a disappointment where you're wanting to get ahead of steam up and face the final 15 minutes or so with 11 players on the field, and it's a needless moment, and one that Harry, I'm sure, regrets now. You've got to keep your head in those situations, just understand the nature of that sort of challenge and the outcome that it brings. And it's frustrating because, like I say, there's no lack of effort within the group, I don't think. There's a lack of quality there at times, and again, that's been evident on too many occasions. But yeah, we're getting ahead of steam up. We're putting that bit of pressure on them. They were backed up and defending, and fair play to the boys that stayed on. They've continued to try to force the issue and work moments. But again, like I say, it does become too easy when you've only got 10 men on the field to try that.
Sure. If you're looking, and you will look for positives in today, what would they be?
I think there's still some good performance within there. Kai's had a great game. He looked a constant threat. Set the first goal up. I think it's possibly had a hand in the second goal as well. He looked a real threat, and more the player that I think people saw last season. So yeah, he's had a real positive game. I think there are moments and situations within his game that we need to help him improve. And equally, like I say, there's been some other solid games there. The game understanding that we seem to lack, and when we need to keep hold of games in certain areas, that bit of organisation at crucial times is again something that we're lacking. so that we're able to manage games in a better way, in a better fashion, and recognise that you're not going to have it all your own way for the whole 90 minutes. Curzon have been pretty ruthless with their finishing to get themselves into the 3-1 lead at half time, but that's difficult. Good that we got into regroup and we came out with more purpose and more quality, I think, in the second period. But yeah, overall, it's not good enough.
Kevin, really appreciate your time. Thanks very much.
Thank you.